welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about what things you must not do if you want to learn English. What things under any circumstances you should skip and what advice you should never follow. My name is Radmila and this is channel SelfStart USA, where we're talking about learning English and I'm sharing my favorite tips on how you can fast forward your fluency and get to that advanced level of English much faster. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and with no further ado, let's go. So first thing, you should stop making excuses. Focus on the real goal and keep that big picture in your mind. So just for the context, I'm originally from Ukraine. I'm bilingual. I know Ukrainian, Russian. I'm fluent in English. And right now I'm living in the Netherlands for 5.5 years and I'm starting to learn Dutch. I personally had way too many excuses of why I cannot learn Dutch. I had an excuse, I'm way too busy. I don't have time with my job, my family, with my friends. I have no time for learning a new language. It's gonna be expensive. I don't want to spend any money on learning Dutch. I can just do it on my own. And third, I'm not really gonna be using Dutch. I don't have friends that I can talk to. I can't really practice this language. So I have way too many excuses, and for 5.5 years, I honestly wasn't really progressing while living in this country. But here's the truth. Once you have a goal in mind, once you know why you want to learn a new language, why you keep that in focus. For example, when I was learning English back in Ukraine, my goal was to go and study abroad. I imagined myself living in New York, going to university, going to classes, having this Starbucks coffee cup, and just living this big American life. I really envisioned it, and that was my big goal. I was working towards it every single day. I created like some pictures on my desk. I printed things that reminded me of my goal, and I structured my day in a way that I was working every day for that goal. Keep your focus on your goal, whatever this is. Whether it is to go and study abroad, whether it is to immigrate abroad, whether it is to go travel and understand everything around you, whether it is just to be confident and more fluent. It can be literally any goal that you have in mind, but you need to put it somewhere in your room so that you will be reminded of that goal. We're humans. We can forget about what's really important to us in our everyday lives. We're going to work, we're meeting with friends, and just in this chaos of things, in our routines and errands, we can truly forget about the most important things of why we're doing what we're doing. So scratch that and focus on the real goal. And FYI, you don't really need to have a lot of time. You can dedicate just 10 minutes a day. You don't really need to have a lot of money. There are tons of free resources, apps, and people you can talk to. So these excuses definitely don't work. Second thing, motivation alone will not do. You need to add discipline to it. A lot of students think that whenever they're learning English, they can just dedicate some time inconsistently. Whenever people are starting to learn English or any other language, they think they can just do one day here, another day here, on and off, learning for one day a week, then repeating it in like 3 weeks. There is no consistency, there is no discipline, there is no routine, and hence you will definitely not be progressing. Try to be consistent. Look at your agenda, look at your calendar. What time slots can you book for learning new language? And don't give me excuses. I know you have time. You definitely have time because you're scrolling through YouTube or Instagram. So scratch 10 minutes of that time and dedicate it to English. Make sure it's a regular learning curve. You can dedicate 10 minutes on Monday, maybe 20 minutes on Tuesday. You can skip Wednesday, but then you add on more time on Thursday and Friday. What is a real revelation for me personally is that you don't need to dedicate 2-3 hours a day to actually progress in a language. I actually had that misconception about learning Dutch, and I was waiting for way too long, when in reality, I can dedicate consistently only 10 or 15 minutes per day, and that will suffice. Yes, it will impact the progress that you will have in terms of the pace of the progress. It might be much slower than you would want to, but you still will be having that progress. If you do at least 1% a day, just 1 word a day, 1 page a day, 1 video with subtitles a day, you will start progressing. This is not about inspiration. This is not about your motivation. Start adding discipline to whatever big picture that you have in mind. Only with discipline you can actually achieve your goal. Third thing, don't make it boring. When I was learning English for the first time back in Ukraine, there was a notion that in order to learn a new language, you need to spend 10 years on learning grammar. You need to understand every single thing about the grammar, every single rule, and then you can move on to other things. What was happening is that I wasn't really inspired solely by learning grammar. It was kind of boring and rigid. There was no fun in it. And obviously learning grammar is extremely important. You really need to do it, but you should make it more fun. Add more things to your learning experience. Do not think that you first need to memorize by heart all these tenses, every single rule, and then you can move on to more fun things to do, like using interesting apps for your vocabulary or memorization, maybe singing songs in other language, maybe watching TV shows, reality TV, something with subtitles. Maybe you can go to a practice course when you can actually speak with people. Start adding fun things to your learning experience. That's when you actually shine. What you don't realize is that you actually do not need to know that many rules. You just need to start with basic ones. Start with straightforward, clear rules that you find online and they're clear and understanding to you. What a lot of people don't understand is that you don't need to start learning everything. Start with simple rules, with very straightforward rules, and then move on to something more complex, but add more fun to it. Only fun activities make our learning experience exciting, exhilarating, interesting, and motivational. Stop doing it very rigid and boring. Fourth thing, do not postpone speaking English. I know you might be a perfectionist just like myself when you first want to learn everything and then you can move on to actual practice of speaking. And what happens is that once you learn everything and then you move on to speaking, you won't be able to say a word. Literally the same thing happened to me here in the Netherlands when I was learning Dutch. For the first half a year when I was learning, I wasn't able to say even a sentence. Even in a store when I would be like getting my coffee or buying something, I was so shy to even say simple sentences in Dutch. Even when I knew them, I was very shy. I was very self-conscious. I was like, oh my God, what if I say something and they won't understand? But what actually was happening, I was delaying the inevitable. I was postponing the most essential part of my integration experience. I was delaying the real practice and the real reason why I was learning Dutch. I was learning Dutch to be able to speak to people, to be able to understand what people are saying and respond back. And I was delaying the most essential part of it because me being able to learn words and read the correspondence at home, despite all that, I was still unable to say even a word because I was too self-conscious. So fast forward 6 months, I knew a lot of rules, I knew so many words, but then yet I still couldn't speak. So then I made this commitment that now whenever I go to a store, to a cafe, I'm trying to say anything in Dutch. I'm trying to respond in Dutch. And sometimes it leads to pretty interesting conversations when people do not understand me, but then I try to repeat it again in Dutch. You do need to push yourself out of it. You do need to try to speak in that language. Without speaking that language, I guarantee you will not be progressing. If you're thinking that now I'm gonna learn everything, all the tenses, all the grammar, all the words, and then I'll magically be able to put sentences together, you're wrong, my friend. That will not happen to you. It did not happen to me and it will not happen to you. Start speaking right away, even if it's just simple sentences. I know some people are very shy and self-conscious because they think that people might laugh at them, but let me tell you, throughout my entire life of learning English and learning Dutch, I had encountered only one situation when people were laughing, not at me, but they were laughing with me when I just made like a really funny, simple mistake and people corrected me and we laughed together. So that fear that people will laugh at you, trust me, they most probably won't. 99% of people are extremely supportive. They are very excited to help you learn their language and they will definitely not be laughing at you. So do not be postponing speaking that new language. By the way, if you do not have anyone to practice English with, I have really good news for you. We launched our own English school, SelfStartEnglish. We have incredible certified teachers. They can give you one-on-one personalized lesson and help you increase your fluency and even your American accent. So whether you want to improve the English grammar, your fluency or American accent, or if you're preparing for TOEFL or IELTS, click on the link below and you can book your first lesson with our incredible teachers. And the last tip that I want to share with you is that you cannot compare yourself to others. Stop looking around and thinking, oh my God, this person is such a fast learner. Oh my God, they memorize everything and I can't. Stop thinking like this. This is a destructive thought. It's gonna ruin your motivation. It's gonna keep you away from your big goal. Everyone is different in the pace of learning. That's absolutely fine. Everyone has different skills, everyone has different traits, and something that you find easy, other person might find a bit hard, and that's absolutely fine. Stay focused on your lane, stay focused on your experience, on your path. This has nothing to do with other people's learning experience because you have your own experience. Be patient with yourself. The most important thing is that you are consistent, you have discipline in learning English, you know what you need to do and you keep doing it every day, even if it's not as fast as possible. Be gentle to yourself, be kind, be patient, and the time when you will start understanding English like this will definitely come, I guarantee you, if you put efforts in. So that was it for today. If you enjoyed your video, please give me likes, comment, and subscribe, and share your experience of learning English in the comments below. Also, you can write in the comments what other videos you would like me to make because I'm trying to be consistent now in YouTube, adding my discipline to posting videos on YouTube. So guys, I was really happy to see you today. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you really, really soon. Goodbye.